welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 6-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate that, guys. YouTube tells me that 60% of my audience does not subscribe. If you could take 1 second to do that, if you do enjoy the content, that would be awesome. And I'll be here all NBA season long breaking down these NBA DFS slates to help you become better NBA DFS players and to help you win some money. With that being said, I do offer an NBA DFS Patreon package over here on Patreon where you get access to my premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play contact stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. I currently have 14 members over there. Come and join the KJK DFS team. Getting a lot of good feedback as far as my projections, my core plays. A lot of people winning some money, so looking to keep that going. If you are interested, that's linked below in the description. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. First game on the slate, Toronto taking on Orlando. OG Anunoby, Aaron Gordon are out. Norman Powell is listed as questionable right now. It's looking as if he is a true questionable, but he was upgraded to questionable after being listed as doubtful, so good sign there. We'll have to keep an eye on that one leading up until lock. If he continues to be out, that's going to increase more usage for a guy like a Terrence Davis, a guy like a Yuta Wannabe, and Stanley Johnson. It's been mostly Yuta and mostly Terrence Davis filling in those minutes. Stanley Johnson's kind of taking a backseat to Yuta Wannabe, so if Norman Powell is out, we might be able to play some of him as a value play. As far as the Vegas lines are concerned, right now this game comes with a 5.5-point spread in favor of the Toronto Raptors. There is no over-under release yet. I would expect this game not to have the fastest pace, so probably a lower over-under. But yeah, I mean, with no OG, if Norman Powell continues to be out, it's going to be Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. These three guys in the Toronto rotation. Very predictable minutes, very predictable usage. We're looking at mid-30s to 40 minutes apiece. 55 DraftKings points last time out for Pascal Siakam. Around 35 minutes, Fred VanVleet had 19 DraftKings points, which is a little bit of a rare occurrence there. I'd expect him to bounce back. And then Kyle Lowry putting up 47. So, they're all going to get you around 40 DraftKings points typically on any given night. And then there's much more room for upside. So, those three guys make a lot of sense as plays. Minutes are solidified, usage is solidified. And then on the Orlando side, it's kind of a similar story. And with no Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, Kem Birch are going to be the main beneficiaries. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gary Clark get some solid minutes. We've seen him start in or fill in for guys when they're out and has put up, some pretty decent numbers. So Gary Clark could be an interesting value option. But yeah, it's Nikola Vucevic, it's Evan Fournier, really, it's Cole Anthony, and it's Terrence Ross. These are the guys you're looking to. These are the guys that are going to have to keep them in the game, and they're all priced pretty appropriately, especially with no Aaron Gordon, or underpriced, I should say. Room for upside is what I'm trying to get at here. So 6'3" for Evan Fournier. I'm going to like him a lot on this slate. Terrence Ross and Cole Anthony at 5'3" and 5'5" make a lot of sense. With no Aaron Gordon. Even though Aaron Gordon's more so a forward, he has taken on a lot of on-ball handling responsibilities in this offense to the point of where DraftKings has actually listed him as a point guard slash, small forward. So I do think that the guards could see some more responsibility. And then Kem Birch at 4'2" and Gary Clark, as mentioned. Kem Birch, very good fantasy point per minute producer. So if he's going to get more minutes, we're going to have a lot of interest in him. And that's pretty much the extent of my interest in this one. Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving look to be in currently. Keep an eye. It seems like they're resting one of these guys like every game. I think they're all going to play this one, though, because they're taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm expected to be one of the teams they're going to compete with in the postseason. So keep an eye on the total for this one. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty decent total. We got a 240.5 total in that Portland-Washington game, which we'll get to. So maybe not as high as that one, but James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, all these guys, they're going to get all the usage. So I would say It's probably next to impossible to fit every single one of these guys in your lineups. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are going to be very high priorities for me on this slate. I will continue to target Brooklyn's defense since they acquired this big three. Has been historically bad, on pace to be the worst defense. I don't know. I saw a stat on StatMuse or on Twitter that the Brooklyn offense is on pace to be the best offense of all time, and their defense is on pace to be the worst defense of all time. Now, in relation to what stat that is, I'd have to go back and track that. But just know they're playing at a fast pace. They can get buckets, but they're not really playing defense. So Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are going to be very, very good plays for me on this slate. Absolutely love both of these guys. I have no issue with playing both of them in the same lineup because we're not really too worried about the blowout in this one. As far as the Clippers blowing out the Brooklyn, and we're not too worried about Brooklyn blowing out the Clippers. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to stock up on these high-tier studs. James Harden, Kevin Durant, kind of tough to diagnose this team. I was saying for a while there that I do like playing Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant's more so a forward and he's less affected by the on-ball handling share that James Harden and Kyrie Irving are involved in, which still remains true, but I think we're starting to see James Harden do James Harden things, meaning he needs the ball. So, I don't know. I wouldn't really be looking to too much on this game outside of these big options, to be honest. I mean, sure, you could play Jeff Green, you could play Serge Ibaka, you could play a DeAndre Jordan, but not too sure. I mean, the Clippers rotation seems to be very, very spread thin. They're giving like a bunch of guys minutes. Nicholas Batum is listed as questionable. So if he is out, you could be looking more to a Marcus Morris Sr., a Lou Williams, a Luke Kennard, and a Patrick Patterson. But even with that being said, I mean, they still have enough guys in this rotation to where it could be too spread thin. So kind of tough to be going there, guys. Not going to lie. I'd really lock in on the core in this game, be happy with playing the core, and then kind of move on. So Memphis taking on Indiana. Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon continue to be great plays. I'm going to say it every single time out, but it's just true. Since Victor Oladipo left town, these guys are both receiving a bunch of usage, a bunch of opportunity. So I'm going to continue to like Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon every single time they take the floor. Domantas Sabonis seeing 37 and 38 minutes the last 3 games. He's only put up 55, 44, and 32. But that means we've seen his price tag dip down because he was at 9.8. He's dropped down all the way from 9.8 to 8.7. So as far as I'm concerned, all the way down. Just take advantage of the price tag decrease because this guy's role is not going to change. He's still going to be responsible for getting buckets, rebounds, assists, everything. Same role applies for Malcolm Brogdon, who's priced up to 8.6, is now down to 7.9. Memphis's defense has been really good this year, ironically, but I don't know. When you're just getting that much opportunity, I don't really care. Still like both of those guys. Jonas Valanciunas continues to be questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. TJ Warren's out. Jonas Valanciunas may return. If he does not, we could be going back to our man Tillman, Xavier Tillman, except his upside's been kind of underwhelming. And then, of course, he got priced up to 4.8, and he had put up his biggest game yet. So it was a lot easier to click that plus button when he was 3.5, and now he's at the 5.1. Could he still get you there? Of course, but just buyer beware. His price tag continues to climb. And then the rest of this game, I'm not really all too interested in anyone. We don't really have any injuries. It's Domantas Sabonis, it's Malcolm Brogdon. On the Memphis side, it's Ja Morant, mainly, honestly. Even a guy like a Dillon Brooks, who I traditionally really love playing on DraftKings just because of his ability to shoot the 3-ball. I have not been playing because he's been really struggling. So I'm going to continue to fade him. You just can't shoot. And so we see something different. Brandon Clark and Kyle Anderson are intriguing options as well. If there is no Jonas Valanciunas, we could be playing both of these guys. So, keep an eye on that news. And that's pretty much my wrap up there. Portland taking on Washington. This is going to be the fun game to talk about. A very fast-paced game. Right now, we're dealing with a 240.5 over-under with a 2-point spread in favor of the Washington Wizards. So, yeah. going to have a lot of interest in this one. Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook at the top, obvious options. Damian Lillard, there continues to be no CJ McCollum. He's taking on a Washington team. This matchup, yeah, is like, one of the best matchups you could possibly have, so I'm going to love him. Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, 1A and 1B in this offense, so continue to like both of these guys. Bradley Beal finally saw his price tag dip down. He was priced up to 10-10 or 10-2 for a while there. Not that it was a huge drop, but I mean, Westbrook's been back digging into that usage for a while now, and they just weren't bumping his price tag anywhere, so they finally did bump it down a little bit. Westbrook didn't really see his price tag go up after that huge performance last time out, putting up 73 DraftKings points. This guy's a legitimate triple-double upside guy every single time he takes the floor, so you're going to have interest in him every time he takes the floor with this DraftKings format where you get that extra points for the triple-double. Not to mention, you're going to accrue points along the way for every single statistic he's putting up, so love him. Ennis Cantor, Gary Trent Jr. continue to be great options on the Portland side, both seeing really big bumps in usage since no CJ McCollum as well, so both these guys make a lot of sense as plays. Gary Trent Jr. is priced all the way up to 6K, though, so he's starting to become a little too priced up for my liking. We still have Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Jones Jr., and if Derrick Jones Jr. is back, that's really what's been bumping up Trent's minutes a lot as well. So if Derrick Jones Jr. is back, I'd be rather playing him than Derrick Jones Jr. priced up at 6K. I'd rather play Derrick Jones Jr. at 4.6. Ish Smith last time out was putting up a pretty big game as well off the bench, 32 points, so he's capable of putting up a big performance real quick. I mean, he only saw 24 minutes, so take with that what you will, but he's still able to get the job done. So that's pretty much the extent of my interest in this one. You're looking to, I mean, you could play a Robert Covington for sure at 5.2. Davis Bertans and Rui Hachimura continue to be pretty much limited, so both these guys, 5.2 and 4.7, I want to like them, but they're not really seeing the minutes I'd like. I mean, Rui did get up to 29 last game out, so that's a little bit of an improvement from what we've been seeing. And then Davis Bertans did get up to 30, but the production still wasn't there, so I guess the minutes are starting to get there, though, so maybe those guys are a little more sneakier plays than I thought, because I really want to play them, especially Davis Bertans. His ability to shoot the 3-ball makes him a very interesting option on DraftKings. So Boston taking on Golden State. Steph Curry comes in at 9.6 in this one. This game comes in right now with a 225 over-under with a 3-point spread in favor of the Boston Celtics. So not exactly the fastest-paced game, but not the slowest either. Steph Curry at 9.6, he's going to have a difficult defensive matchup with the defensive guys like Jaylen Brown on him. However, I will say Marcus Smart does continue to be out, so that's actually a really big deal for Steph Curry. Typically speaking, I would say that Marcus Smart would be on him. Marcus Smart, very good on-ball defender. Not that Jaylen Brown isn't, but I do think that it's an upgrade for who they have. Hopefully, they have Kemba Walker guarding him at first. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to throw Kemba on him at first, and Steph Curry can definitely eat in that matchup. So, but on the Boston side, I'm really gonna like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker. The big three, so to speak. Jason Tatum's definitely my number one option at 8.6. Jaylen Brown at 7.8. Does have similar upside and is a little cheaper, so both of them I really do like in this Golden State matchup. Kemba Walker continues to see his minutes limited, so I said I liked him. However, his price tag continues to go up to 6.7, and he's still only seeing like 27 minutes a game, so just know he's got to be very productive in his minutes, because if he's not going to get you there. He put up 36 and 40 DraftKings points in limited minutes, and then he's put up 19 and 19, so can he get you there? Can he get you 43 DraftKings points at this mid 6K price tag? Yes, but he's kind of limited. So, I do prefer Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown greatly. James Wiseman is out on the Golden State side. Peyton Pritchard's out on the Boston side. Then you got Draymond Green and Eric Pascal listed as questionable, but it looks like Draymond Green is more so probable. As far as Eric Pascal is concerned, it's looking like he is also probable. So James Wiseman being out is going to be interesting. That's going to give a little bit more usage to a few guys in this offense. So, who that's going to be is going to be interesting. We have been seeing Kevon Looney starting pretty consistently, but his minutes have been, only like 15 minutes. He did see 23 minutes last time out, but maybe a guy like a Kent Bazemore starts to see more minutes in the rotation at 3K. So maybe he's an intriguing value option, but yeah, I mean, there's going to be more minutes to go around somewhere, so definitely keep an eye on the rotation. And I will say that this Boston frontcourt has some big guys, and like a Daniel Tice, a Tristan Thompson, a Robert Williams off the bench that Golden State's going to have to match with one of their big men. So it's most likely going to be Kevon Looney and or Eric Pascal. And I tend to think Pascal is going to just have to play minutes with how dynamic this Boston frontcourt is. So I think Pascal is an interesting value option today for sure. Last game on the slate, Detroit ticket on Utah. All guys priced pretty low in this one. Donovan Mitchell, the top price guy at 7.6. As far as the Vegas lines are concerned, there is no spread or total. I would expect this game to be a pretty dreadfully paced game. Pretty low total, to be honest. I'm going to be wanting to prioritize a lot of other spots would be my guess. I mean, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell at 7.2 and 7.6 are both priced very fairly for their roles in their offense. Both these guys have plenty of room for upside, so just keep an eye on their projections. If you're a Patreon member of mine, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out as decent options, even though, it's a slower-paced game. Jeremiah Grant, I mean, this Detroit side continues to just spread out their minutes. This whole game, I almost feel like it's a waste of time talking about it a little bit. I mean, Jordan Clarkson off the bench as a six-man makes a lot of sense as an option. He's an intriguing play. Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, I want to play, but they're just like not playing these guys. They're just in tank mode. It's just ugly. Minutes are getting spread around. Josh Jackson, Wayne Ellington, Derrick Rose, Isaiah Stewart, the list goes on and on. Josh Jackson continues to be a pretty decent play for me, and I have been playing a decent amount of him this year because of his production and minutes, but I don't know, guys. Not a lot to talk about. Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson are my favorite options on the Utah side, as always, really. Just because they're underpriced for their roles. Mike Conley is starting point guard. Jordan Clarkson, the six-man with a lot of usage at the bench. They make sense, so. That's my overall breakdown of the six-game slate, guys. Before I let you go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Kawhi Leonard in this game, taking on the Brooklyn Nets. The defense of Kawhi Leonard is going to be needed. The scoring of Kawhi Leonard is going to be needed. The rebounding of Kawhi Leonard is going to be needed, and so on. Absolutely love this price tag on him. This is a guy we've been consistently playing around 10K for all season long, and now he's down all the way to a 9.2 price tag. This guy has been a 1.35 DK point per minute producer, and I expect him to get around 35 to 40 minutes in this one. Absolutely love the pace, absolutely love the matchup. Taking on this Brooklyn squad, don't expect them to be able to slow down Kawhi Leonard, and he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Kawhi Leonard, get him in your lineups because he's my lock of the night. And that is all for me for this six-game slate. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. And then don't forget to check out my Patreon package if interested in some further content from me, premium NBA projections, DK core plays, FanDuel core plays, all of that good stuff, linked below in the description. That is all from me. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.